Before the interview starts, make sure you go to marsmarsmars.com and use the Mars files at checkout for 15% off your order. Also, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
I was a pissed off little angry middle schooler.
Why?
And,
what were you mad about?
oh, because I was, this is where it takes a weird turn. So in my whole upbringing, I was abused heavily by my mother, mentally and physically, like on some real fucked up shit. Like she would beat me for little to none.
Young bass guy, and I'm bass with the Martians, 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 Martian niggas, Martians, Martians.
Have you done interviews before?
Have I? I think I did like one.
One? Video and stuff?
Yeah. That's
Tight.
weird.
Yeah, the camera does something. I don't know what it is, but the camera, like, I've done better interviews, like, off camera than on camera.
Yeah, it can definitely present some uncomfiness, but gotta get used to it.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want, you can adjust your chair. If not, you're good.
This is the best I'm gonna do. I don't want people to see me hop off of this thing and realize how short I am.
All right. Let me just even out with you then. All right, that's as even. It's gonna. All right. Anyways, so this is the Mars Files, powered by 1AM Radio, live on Dash Radio. Today I got a special guest, Jerhell.
Hi, I'm Jerhell.
That's how you say it, right, Jerhell?
Yeah, the H is silent.
Okay. So I found out about you because I was at the Rare House show with Dami. I guess you and Swaco performed, or was it like the whole group?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know. I was kind of drunk, to be fair, but like this might sound like some pure headassery, but you had like a special energy about you. I didn't even really see you perform. You just kind of like walked out and you had like a special energy about you. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I remember very specifically. That's why I'm.
Yeah,
that's
but
why when you said interview, I was like, oh yeah, for sure, you get it.
Yeah. There was just something about you, and then I followed you on Instagram, and then I started like following the music, and I don't know what it was, but I was right because your music is like fucking amazing, and it's real, and you're really good at like channeling your emotion and like putting it through the music. And
I'd like to think that I'm good at it because, oh man, I be struggling with expressing myself.
I mean, dude, in the music, like I could hear the struggle like in your voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of times like that separates artists from other people because like I listen to music all the time. People are always DMing me links. I'm sure they're sending you stuff too, and you could kind of hear it when somebody is like kind of doing it for the wrong reasons, almost. Like
Almost immediately.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hate saying this, but I love saying this, but it's because one of my biggest comparisons.
Make sure you're talking to the mic a little
my bad.
closer. You're good.
I was just afraid of hearing my voice.
You can take off the headphones if you want to.
I'm gonna just like wear them on the back of my ears.
Okay.
That probably look weird, but it feels better. One of my weirdest comparisons, not weirdest comparisons, just one of my biggest comparisons is to X.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot. And like, I look up to him and I understand what he was about and about progression and whatnot. And I believe what is real will prosper.
Absolutely,
So
I agree.
that's why I just keep it real in my own way, because I'm not that nigga. Like, I've never been that nigga. Like, I sounded like me before I knew who he was.
Yeah.
So that's just what it is.
If I had to draw a comparison, it'd be like Kendrick Lamar mixed with X.
I've also gotten Kendrick Lamar.
So if I had to do something, because there's a lot of jazzy elements in your music that I feel like X really didn't like touch.
Yeah, because a lot of my music is nothing like X's at all.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
whatsoever.
People, I think there's also like something to be said about like the music that comes out of SoundCloud, because there is a certain sound or whatever. If you want to just make a general statement, there is one to be made.
Yeah, 100%. Like the whole Florida sound, I totally get it, and I totally take some of my influences. I can hear it, obviously, like in the way that I yell or like an ad-lib that I may use. He definitely may have influence, but I wouldn't say that I'm like him very much.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you're like him. Besides like there is something like interesting about you, just off like energy, and that's something that he had. It was just his energy was like really strong. You could just feel it.
Yeah.
But anyways, bro, I kind of want to just want to like start at the beginning. You're from Inglewood, California?
Yes, I'm from Inglewood.
So what was your experience growing up in Inglewood, California?
It was weird because I was a skateboarder. I only listened to punk rock and metal, and my hair was straight for like 7 years.
Your hair was straight?
Yes, I wore it like with a bang and all, looking like the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, but black. Like,
wow.
And I only did it because I kind of just did it out of spite. Like, I was a pissed off little angry middle schooler.
Why?
And,
what were you mad about?
oh, because I was this is where it takes a weird turn. So in my whole upbringing, I was abused heavily by my mother, mentally and physically, like on some real fucked up shit. Like she would beat me for little to none. She was an alcoholic. Dad was an alcoholic. I don't know where the fuck I figured out my dad, he went to Pomona. He just moved. I didn't really think of that as a separation thing. That wasn't a big thing on my head. But it was just like, oh, well, dad's not here. Mom's fucking killing me. And I don't like the people at school. Fuck everybody. Well, before it was fuck everybody, I was like, I'm going to kill myself. And then after that, I was like, you know what? Fuck everybody else. Why would I die? They should die. Yeah. And then with anger came wisdom, I guess. Like I vibrated with a lot of people. A lot of people fucked with me after I stood my ground and decided not to be a bitch. And then, yeah, I just started getting friends. And I realized, like, man, maybe all this being angry shit ain't all it's cracked up to be. And I got through that adolescent moment.
I mean, so your mom was like super abusive. She was just like, what, come home drunk and just beat you?
Not really come home drunk and beat me, but like she would stay
home and
she
drink?
didn't work much. Like she did what she could for us and she loved us, but she didn't know how to. Exactly.
Was she a young mother?
Nah, I mean, I don't know. I guess she's like in her 50s now.
Okay, so how old are you? Maybe
I'm 24 now. I just turned 24.
Maybe
so
she was like around your age.
Yeah, presumably. I never really thought about that.
Yeah.
But she was, I don't know, man. She just tried her best, and she didn't understand me. And she kind of took my intelligence, because the way I sound, I'm pretty articulate and well-spoken, right?
Absolutely.
She kind of took that as like a threat or disrespect. Like, it was like, oh, you think you white, you think you better than us, you think this, that,
so you got
third.
that energy, because I've heard you talk about people saying that to you. Like, in your music, you've said, like, people have said that to you growing up, but it was even coming from your own mother saying that, like, completely. You sound white.
Exactly. Completely. That's mostly where it came from, where she would kind of, like, pick on me because I was different, literally. She would wonder why I wear all black. She wants to take me into therapy and say that I'm fucking crazy, but I was just skating and being a kid.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Nowadays is different, though. Like, she realized that she was wrong by the time I was, like, 18 years old. But by that time, it was already, like, some deep scorn, some deep, painful, unfixable thing that I had that was broken between a mother and a son. And it was fucked. And it took until the late years of 24 or 23 for me to understand her perspective and, like, forgive her.
Yeah.
And it's still fucked up. It's still weird. Like, I don't like long emotional conversations about my feelings with her. I don't like talking about shit. And she's the reason that I'm kind of like this.
Yeah. I mean, do you think at this point, do you think you turned out bad?
Not at all.
Okay.
I feel like I've only done good things for people, and I only want to continue to do good things.
Do you think that the relationship with your mother growing up, do you think that affected you? Like, do you have a hard time connecting with people? Do you have a hard time trusting people?
Not really. If anything, she kind of like, how would I say? I need a good way to put this. She opened my eyes. She opened my eyes to a lot of shit. Like, anybody who was sketchy or who gives off a bad vibe, like, you could just tell. Because I've lived with her. She was big scamming niggas. So like I knew, like, she made me lie. This is this line from Earl Sweatshirt that I really fuck with. I was a liar as a kid, so now I'm honest as fuck. That's exactly what it was. She made me lie to everybody about everything. Lie to the government for like fucking Section 8 type shit, for like EBT type shit, for all the welfare type shit. Like, she made me like act retarded, like to get like certain income benefits and shit.
No
Dude,
way.
On my insurance, I still have like fucking the red, white, and blue one.
Wait. Your mom made you act retarded to like get
financial aid? Yes. When I was like 8, and I didn't understand why. That was a good way to control me, not teaching me why she was, or not telling me why she was doing the things she was doing.
Yeah.
And that's what she did until I started to realize things. When I started seeing Social Security income checks, and I've never seen any of this money, but it's under my name, I would ask questions, but like it would just kind of be the same shit. Like, I don't know. Like, she made me feel worthless, but then it turned out that I was worth something. I was worth some type of financial gain. And then I started trying to pimp that, but it didn't really work too well. But
I'm curious of this scenario. So, what, a social worker comes to your house when you're 8 and your mom tells you, like, like, how does
social workers used to come when I was like 4 or 5.
I'm wondering who's the person that you had to act retarded for.
Me too. Honestly, I know it has something to do with the medical people. This was sometime in middle school.
Yeah.
I remember I went to this facility, and then they're like, she told me like, don't answer any of the questions. If I'm snitching myself out, this would be horrible. But
should we not?
I don't know yet. Matter of fact, we're not gonna talk anymore about this.
Yeah, let's not. We'll bleep it out if you want.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, it's just it's to me it sounds super interesting.
Yeah, it just sounds. Oh man, this makes me feel weird. Like I don't really talk about any.
Yeah,
of this stuff.
My bad. I'm going too deep.
Yeah,
my bad.
But for the most part, our relationship is fine now. I've found forgiveness and I'm trying to lead my family in the right way because. All right, I'll give you a little bit more insight. There was a point in time when I was a teenager, like 14, 13, that I wished everybody death. And I did not care. I wanted them all to die. Even my own mother, even my own brother, and all this good shit. And like, then when shit starts changing as you get older, and I became more successful. Like, I'm not the most successful person at all by any means, anywhere near that yet. But like, now that I see my mother and brother in the predicament that they're in, because we got evicted. We got evicted from my house when I was like 21. I just got back from Japan. I was skating with Erased. And they looked fucked up. And this is when my mom got slightly back into alcoholism because her boyfriend or whatever he was, because I wasn't close to my family, he died. And she fucking spiraled. She spiraled. My brother, he was like a standby character. Like he didn't really do much. Like he played 2K and smoked weed and that was it. And, like, we talk, and there's no bad blood or anything. We were cool, but it's like, what's cool beyond, hey, what's up? And chilling. All right, then. You see Mom? Nah. All right, then. Catch you later. I'm going to go skate.
What's the age difference with you and your brother?
He's 4 years older than me.
He's 4 years older than you?
Yeah.
So you had a rough home life, and that affected your school life, I'm guessing.
Not really, because, like, I separated myself from my parents, so, like, I would say the school life added into affecting my life because school was fucking horrible as well. Like, I didn't like school at all. It was shit.
Well, I mean, what was your thought process? I mean, maybe take me back to, like, when you're 13, 14 years old and you're a kid in school skateboarding. Like, why did you want to straighten your hair?
Let's see. The thought process was I thought that's what looked cool. Like, because anybody who was pissed off and sad had long swaying hair in front of them so the world didn't have to see their face.
Yeah.
And I didn't like people looking at me. I didn't like being seen. I didn't like making eye contact. So if my hair could cover my face, that'd be dope as fuck. Although it took a long time. And by the time my hair did cover my face, I wasn't pissed off anymore. I wasn't as pissed off anymore.
Yeah.
Like, by the time I hit high school, like, people liked me. They just thought I was funny. And that's kind of what I've always been. But I was just sad because the world was cruel.
Yeah.
And I got better. I mean, you realize that these things don't happen, like, on purpose specifically to you. Your life isn't the worst of them all. There's things that you can build from this. And that's what I did.
Absolutely.
So I changed.
No, and that's a beautiful thing. So, I mean, along this journey, like, at what point do you start making music? Like, when do you?
Oh, this is late. So, like, I was, like, 17 when I wrote my first song, but it's not, like, because I wanted to write it. It's because my friend Lamont Hull, he's a famous skateboarder, had a big YouTube channel that I helped him out with. He was like, you want to start a rap group? I didn't listen to rap until I was, like, 17. Or so. Like, I only listened to hardcore punk. I went to a lot of punk shows. I was in a band and did all that shit. And I was like, And he was like, oh, come on, you're probably going to be good at it. You're smart. You're good with words. I'm like, you're right. I am smart and good with words. He asked me up. So I was like, all right, fuck it. But when I started rapping, it was like just I'm a lyrical, spiritual, physical individual.
I feel like that's how a lot of people start, which is interesting. It's
the best way to start. I'm going to be honest with you because you get comfortable using crazy words and you start learning flows. I think the more comfortable you get with it, the less you have to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
To express yourself. So when I started, I was just like, I'm a lyrical, physical, metaphysical, spiritual. I was hitting all that shit. And it was like, not for me per se. Like, I didn't look into having beats made. I didn't like go look for studio time. I wasn't trying to do any of that shit. I just wanted to skate, really. But it was like a side project. My friend was into it, so I was into it by association.
How long, I mean, so you started skateboarding first. I mean, how long you been skating at this point?
Probably 11 years.
Because you fucking shred.
Thank you.
So before you even started rapping and you were skating, did you already know Louis? And
Luis?
were you already, or Louis, and were
Luis
you already,
right?
Yeah. And were you already like skating for Erased?
No. That's a journey because that just goes through sponsorships and shit. But with Luis, how I met him, it was dope.
We'll go through the journey. Like, we got some time.
Oh, fuck it. Yeah, you're right. We do have time.
We got time, so let's go through the journey.
I wish I had smoked marijuana before this. All right, because I'm talkative as hell when I smoke weed. All right, let's see. Starting at 12, stealing skateboards for transportation. Simple as that. Seen them in the yard on the corner of my street, which is 102nd Street in Inglewood, and we were just like, I was surrounded by horrible influences, horrible little shit type niggas, like grimy niggas, and I was just like, yeah, sure, I guess, because I'm the runt. Like, I don't know, they're just like tall, bony, and fucking ready for whatever. So I was just like not trying to be a bitch. I was already pissed off, so I was like, fuck it, like let's do whatever. So we steal these skateboards, paint them all brown, like even the trucks and shit. We had no idea what we were doing, and then just go to Darby Park, and I learned how to do a shove it, and I was like, oh shit, we're skaters now. And that's pretty much what happened. And what happened after that? Fucking transportation, breaks. Christmas comes, ask my mom for one. She gets me one, a Zoo York board. Then I just started practicing for like no reason, out of not having shit to do. Yeah. And then it became an outlet. Like when all the abusive shit was happening, I was just like, fuck this, I'm leaving and I'm gonna be something great. Like, because nobody believed in shit. Everybody had the shittiest fucking opinion about success and everything. And the perspective of money, like having money makes you fucking evil or makes you white or makes you some ignorant shit. That's what everything was. And I was like, fuck this. I'm just going to go do what I want to do, and I'm going to live like how I see these dudes on video living. Like on Baker 3 on Almost Round 3. Almost Round 3, my favorite fucking video, by the way. Favorite fucking skate video all time. I seen that shit and seen how they moved like a team, like a family. Well, now this is my adult brain on it, thinking about it. As a kid, I was just like, skateboard looks cool. But as an adult, it was more like, dude, I think I wanted that because I wanted a family. I wanted something to belong to. Like, it made me feel whole. So I was like, fuck yeah, that's what I want to do. Like, go around, have fun with my friends, and get paid for it. Fuck yes. Travel to fucking Europe, go skate fucking Macba and all that good shit. I was like, yes, dude. And then I decided to skate. And after that, I just got... First, I was the runt at everything. At everything I started, I fucking suck at. People wonder why I'm good at everything. I feel like I'm good at everything. Everything I fucking try, I'm good at. But people don't know that I fucking suck at everything I first try. I suck at it really bad. And then give me a month if I really focus and I get good at it. So I got good out of nowhere. After all my friends were making fun of me for being the one who couldn't do this and that, I learned all that shit. And then I became the best, and I was the only one who had the vigor to stick with it and who actually cared. And it was an escape, so of course I rotate to it whenever shit got hard. And so I'd just be out skating, and then I started meeting friends, and then that's when I met Lamont.
Okay.
I met Lamont Holt first.
Skateboarder
and rapper. He's the one who got me to rap. He was that friend.
Got you.
He is that person. He was like my leader. Like he helped me become the person that I am, especially with positivity. Like, so when I speak positivity, I'm not trying to sound like XXXTentacion. I just literally mean this.
I
is what
think
I've
it's a
been
good
taught.
message to spread regardless, you know, like,
yeah.
And it existed before X, it's going to exist after X, you
exactly.
know, so.
That's why I don't mind like posting about shit that he said, or like I watch whatever he says all the time because it's right. It's right in my head.
Yeah.
And I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of that movement. Same shit. Absolutely. I'm just a different person, and I'm tired of niggas saying, stop trying to be somebody when I'm not. That's just irritating.
No, absolutely. I mean,
that could be my insecurities as well for what I hear similarly, but that shit's irritating.
I feel like, honestly, like a lot of people get the, I've probably interviewed like maybe like 3 or 4 people the last week and a half or so that like could probably, you could say the same thing about.
Being compared to him.
So it's like, it's just, it's not your fault, you know?
I will admit that I'm way less pissed off about it than I was like a year ago.
Yeah.
Like now it's like, meh, yeah, I'm pretty sure anybody who yells is automatically X or says anything about positivity is automatically him.
Yeah.
But shit, for the people that take in the positivity that you talk about, it means a lot. Like it means a lot when I get messages of people who took it the right way. I've stopped suicides by just being me. And that's kind of what I discovered in music growing up. But fuck that.
No, but I kind of relate to that a lot because I get some of those messages too sometimes, and it's just like yeah, that is dope. You know what I'm saying? Especially when there's times in your life where you feel down and like it's hard to get through shit, and life's just hard sometimes, yo. Like life is really, and like I be feeling like, yo, I didn't sign up for this, you know? Like that's really how I feel. I mean, and like. I don't know. Life is just tough. Life is just tough, and
that's what it was for me as well.
And it's just not fair, and it's just.
Man, I want to tell you so much, but like I want to go chronologically in the story mode.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you where X came in and why I feel that like it's necessary to have a person like that around, because like that shit helped me. Like I already told you about the rat infested apartment shit. Like when we got evicted, like that shit helped me. Like I would watch that every day and exercise. And I even have like this notebook that I still have to this day that has like a to-do list. Like every time I write, because Swaco, he told me about meditating and writing stream of consciousness and trying to find myself and find who I am. And so through all that, like, because my mom left early. She left the apartment early when we got evicted. She went to my grandma's house. My brother, being the ever attached, stayed where 2K was. So he's like, internet, 2K, boo. I'm playing in the room and smoking weed, and doesn't really matter. Me, on the other hand, I would sleep on the living room couch, which is now covered in rat feces. Rat feces everywhere. Dead rat bodies. Smells horrible. Sounds like a really bad movie. And I thought I was going to die. Henceforth, my album, You Can't Kill Me, because I literally thought I was going to die. And I would just focus and do little things. Like, there wasn't much on my to-do list. It was like, practice singing. Fucking, what else? Well, exercise, practice singing, fucking make a call to so-and-so, try to figure something out, try to do something, meet up with Swaco, go work on music. It was little shit like that. And videos with X, like when he was still alive, and listening to him speak and his situation. That's what also brought me back to the point, like, dude, your life is not the worst. There's a lot of people who come from adversity, and it only makes you grow.
Yeah,
so I said, fuck it, I'm going to grow. I'll grow right through the motherfucking concrete. And that's the type of person I want to be. I want to be that light for people.
It's crazy, too, and it's super interesting, and it shows a lot to your character. Like, the adversity really only made you stronger, and not everybody's like that. Like, some people, like, fold.
Yeah, they crumble.
Yeah, due to adversity. And like, I mean, bro, I'll be honest with you, I didn't have like a super terrible upbringing, but it kind of like, it almost like kind of made me soft. And like, sometimes I crumble under pressure because like, I don't know, like I'm trying to get better and I'm growing as a person every day.
Dude, everybody's growing and nobody is fucking perfect. No matter how much adversity you go through on a personal level, it is still grand to you because it is you.
Yeah.
Whether it had been me who was suffering in a rat-infested home or somebody who didn't make the university that they really planned on making. That is just as big as a fuck you to the face as me dying. Like, that's the same shit. It's just in their brain. Like, it's just because it's not as fucked up doesn't mean it's not fucked up.
Yeah.
They take it as fucked up. Everybody goes through it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, back to the skateboarding. So you're getting, we're good though. We're good though. So back to the skateboarding. So you're skating, you meet Lamont.
I meet Lamont when I was a kid.
Okay.
So this is even before like I knew how to wear my straight hair. Like I would grease it down. I looked ridiculous, and people were right to laugh at me. I would walk around in all purple skinny jeans, a purple flannel, and like the flannel's too loose and too big fitting in the skin. Like I still have the oldest of skate videos that I can show you on a personal level that I will not be showing the public.
Were you shredding though?
My style was bad. Like I was tic-tacking everything. But for a kid's level, yes, I think I was shredding.
Yeah.
I think I was shredding. Like that's why he picked me up and started believing in me. And yeah, the dude was like crazy. He's the craziest because he's a year older than me. So like around the time I was like 13 or 14, he was like 15 or 16. Dude was teaching me about like watering trees and being grateful for shit. And now that I think back on it, like, doesn't that sound like some crazy shit to be doing in Inglewood? like the gangs are right around the corner chilling. Like, I'm over here breaking and entering into the school to skate it and water its trees and tell the trees how thankful I am for the air that they give me. Yeah. At 14, like, this is a weird concept for, like, a metalhead, too. So I was like, I felt like there's something to it, though, like, in that lifestyle of not, because his life was, and I'm not going to speak about his life, that's his business, but his life is not a fucking walk in the park either. And that's why he was an inspiration to me, because his was worse than mine. And I was just like, fuck, dude, we grew up like around the block from each other. And I hated this nigga when I met him, because he was a smiley, little, bubbly, happy motherfucker. Like, and I wasn't. Like, I was pissed, and he was like really good and like kind of famous, like hood famous. We're like, oh, that's Lamont Hole, he's good at skateboarding. And then I was just like, oh, fuck this guy. Fuck this bundle of sunshine. Like, I wear all black, he wears white t-shirts with colored pants. Like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
But after I got to know him, he was real. And so he taught me his ways, and like the ways that this teacher, his name was Mr. Robinson, he pretty much taught him like all this positive stuff about the law of attraction and stuff. And like, he's the one who got me more into it and actually visualizing and meditating and becoming things.
Hold on 1 second.
And we're back on Dash Radio here with Mars. We're going to get things going right now. The camera had died, but it seems that we've gotten things back on track. So, Mars, how long have you been doing this interview thing?
Too long. No, not even that long, like 3 or 4 years. But hold on. So we're at Lamont is teaching you all these things. You said Mr. Robinson was a good teacher.
Yeah.
So you're learning these things from Lamont. You're skating. Sponsors start reaching out, I'm imagining.
Yes. And he was the one responsible for me getting my first sponsor. It was Marquisa Premium Goods. Wallets, backpacks. It was under Paul Rodriguez, Jason Wakazawa, and who the fuck was the third person?
So Lamont was already like a sponsored skater.
Yeah.
Doing the YouTube thing already.
Was he doing YouTube? Yeah, but like only skate videos at the time.
Yeah, he was just a sponsored skater.
At first, it was Tribe Crew. Like he started this group called Tribe Crew and let me be a part of that. And then it progressed into like him getting on this thing called like Clip Squad, which is hella cringy now, but. It consisted of I don't even need to say names, but yeah, he got a part of that, and then like they were connected with people, and he would get sponsors here and there.
And are you still rapping at this point, or you're not even rapping?
I'm
yet?
not rapping yet. Like
Okay.
I'm literally like 14, only listening to like rock and shit. But I'm happier. I start getting happier like with my group of friends and people that I'm meeting, and yeah, when I got my first sponsor, I was probably like. Damn it, I wish I knew that Instagram could archive posts instead of just deleting them.
Yeah.
Because then I would know exactly when it happened. I'll check MySpace later, but like around 2012 maybe or something.
Sure.
I got sponsored. That's all that matters. I got sponsored eventually. Started going with him to all these events. I'm just like his second in command. He starts doing shit on his YouTube channel. I'm a good writer. I'm pretty funny. So I start writing for him and just being in all of his YouTube videos, and I'm also pretty good at acting. And yeah, we started doing like comedy skits as well as skateboarding, intertwining the two. Like, it's some pretty entertaining shit. I would have to say like it was kind of cringy, but like at the time,
Are those videos still up?
Oh yeah, you can still find them. That's why the H is in my name, so you can separate my music from my skateboarding.
Got you.
But I ended up going with Erased instead, because Lamont made a company called Candy, right? And it was Primitive?
Yeah.
It was kind of like that when they still had like the clothing and apparel team, except like it was very pretty boyish, and I'm not a pretty boy or in any way, shape, or form. I was very rough and dirty, like grimy little crust punk type dude. So I was like, he's my friend, so I'll be here. But then Luis, he's been with us like. At that point, he's been with us. How I met him was filming with Lamont. Like, we were skateboarding. Went street filming. Met Luis. And then came over his house the next day to pick him up to, like, go street skate. Because he was just a strictly street skating guy. And I just went in the house, and he was watching anime. And I was like, yo, it's over. Now we're talking about it all. We're chopping it up more than him and Lamont are even chopping it up. And he's like, oh, shit. Like, we got a fucking marathon, this and that. And that's how we created that bond. And then Luis got in a tough situation. He was getting evicted from his house in Hollywood, or his apartment in Hollywood. Couldn't get the security deposit back. Was living off of like $35 or like $40 in his account. And then Lamont offered for him to sleep on his couch because Lamont was doing good at that point. His YouTube channel was doing great. He was like, yo, you film for my YouTube channel. You pay like, what, $50 a month for like rent on my couch? And we would just make it work. You start building your own channel so you can like get your own shit going, you know? Luis takes that to heart, and he starts learning about what he really wants to do. And it wasn't just being a normal-ass skate filmer. He wanted to become something more than that. He wanted to be a filmmaker.
Talk a little closer to the mic, my bad. Yeah, you can move it.
That's my bad.
No, you're good. Just make sure it's like, I just want to be able to hear you clearly.
Gotcha. So he became a filmmaker. Or he started doing YouTube like as if he was a filmmaker, putting passion into it, rather than just like a skate video, you know?
And then at one point they both have companies, and then you just end up going with Erased.
Then Luis makes Erased, literally, like in his second house, in Lamont's second house. He creates Erased. It's darker. It's like anime based. It's really cool in Japanese culture. I speak Japanese also. And so
how did you learn Japanese?
Subconsciously.
Just watching anime.
Yeah, literally watching anime. Dated a Japanese chick. Went over there a few times, and then boom.
Learned it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you join Erased.
Siri, this isn't about you. No.
So you join Erased, and you're rapping at this point.
Yeah. So at this point, like it's like I'm 19 or something, so I know how to rap. I've made rap songs with Lamont because he's like the friend who always kept me like in it.
Yeah.
But I've never like made music for me specifically. And then that Japanese woman literally destroyed my heart, left me for another man, did grimy person.
Are you like into Japanese girls or like into Asian girls?
Not specifically.
Okay.
Like, I guess I was at the time, like, because everything was all like glitter and gold. Like, it looked like, oh, dude, I speak Japanese. I can be over there fucking doing a bunch of crazy shit. But then I was like, when I dated, I was like, damn, she's just as bad as like these American girls. I was like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
And she did that, and then that's when I sang like my own song. Like before that, I would just sing around the house because I'm happy. So I just run around and sing shit, and Luis would be like, "Hey, that's pretty good." Like, and I could sing in Japanese. So he's like, "Dude, let me film that." And then he started like hashtagging Jerhell sings, and then it just became popular, and people would wait for it in his vlogs to see me sing. And it was funny because people liked me for the first time instead of me for like a heel flip. And I was like, this is not for the first time, but it was more directed at me just not doing a heel flip or something.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And so I was like, oh, dude, cool. That's sick, man. And then when I made a song, he's like, dude, you should put this out. Like, he was one of the first people who really wanted me to, like, express myself through music because he liked how it sounded. And I was like, I'm not sure. Skateboarding and music don't go hand in hand too well. Like, when in videos, yes, but if the skateboarder is making music, it's always frowned upon for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
And I guess people only thought you could be good at one thing, or tried to pigeonhole people real bad, or maybe Jeremy Rogers did something for it because people didn't like him, so they just assumed.
Jeremy Rogers was definitely like the Indian over the hill first.
He
that
was
caught all
the
the
guy.
arrows.
Yeah, and they're like, "Yo, you're the next Jeremy Rogers." Like, you don't want that to happen to you. Like,
Yeah.
so I was like, "Oh, fuck that!" Like, I'll wear a mask if I can do it. And, like, I was hella insecure.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lamont was already doing it, and he was getting hate, and like I was kind of not getting hate, like, which is slightly weird. So I was like, oh man, like I don't even want to venture deeper. Like, I don't want that to happen to me. And then I was hurt, and I was like, I want to express myself, so I did, and then I put it out, and people liked it, and I was like, oh, this is weird. People accept me, and then it opened up new doors, and that's where I started like doing music.
And so, do you guys already know Sueco at this point?
Yes, but not as well as I do now. Like, he was like a random white kid on a college campus at a dorm party that I went to. It was his dorm party. That was it. Like, he looked kind of like, meh, like angry.
Yeah.
And yeah, we talked. He was cool, but kind of like, meh. I was like, oh, cool, dude. And then he went to like Nashville and Puerto Rico and found himself. And then when he came back, this is when he heard my music, like, again for the first time, rather than just, like, the featuring on Lamont stuff, rippity rap stuff. Like, he heard, like, me sing and, like, try to put my soul into it. And he was like, this has a feeling. This has a certain feeling to it. I think you found something out. This is the same thing that I found when I was out on the road. And I think this is before he went to Nashville. So he got back from Puerto Rico, and then he was like, oh, this is that feeling. Like, keep doing this. I like this. This is when I showed him Love Unconditionally, which now has 500,000 plays on like SoundCloud and shit.
Wow.
Like, so fucking sick.
Yeah.
Like, that's when I was like, holy shit, this is doing really well. This is crazy. And that was like, what, 2 to 3 years ago or something. So I was just like, yeah, dude, fuck it. Let's work together. Like, when you get back. So we went to Nashville, came back. I ended up linking with him and going over his house a lot before I went on the Erase tour, which led to me going to Japan for a month and living there for a little bit. And when I got back, he was working in like some studio. He was in a bad like management contract, but they had like this big ass cool studio, and like I would just come by and work on music with him and have him teach me how to like be myself and just do shit and get comfortable. And for a year, that's kind of what it was. But when I got back from the Erase tour, that's when the eviction shit was all happening. So it was like, I have nothing else to do at this rate. Like, all my friends were still in Japan skateboarding. I wasn't talking to Lamont as much because he had this conception in his brain, like, that we weren't close because we weren't talking as much, and like that pushed him farther away, pushed me farther away, because I was like, yo, if you want to talk to me, call me. But and throughout our childhood, it kind of began to seem like I was calling him most of the time, and I was like I said, I was insecure like tons. So I was just like, dude, I'm tired of calling people. I'm tired of being a fucking nuisance. Like, I need to learn how to be on my own and like survive.
I'm the same way.
It sucks.
I feel like that
That
too.
shit sucks.
I feel like that too. Like, I'll be like sitting home all day, like bored, like not doing anything, but like I'm like, it's like I'm almost like scared to hit somebody up because I don't want to like annoy
bother
anybody.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that shit, it's not a good feeling.
No.
So I was like, fuck it. But at that time, I was like, that's what it is, and that's where I am. So fuck it. If he wants to call me, because I'm alone. I am alone every day. So I was like, if he wants to call me, he can call me. Nobody fucking called my phone. Nobody. Swaco called me, and he was like, all right, man. Well, shit, do you want to work on some music? And I'm like, yeah. So I get my little hoopty, and I whip up to the studio and spend all night there, 7 in the morning, then go to Pasadena and crash at his place. And that's when opportunity arose. He was like, yo, like, I don't know, I can ask my dad if you can live with us. And I was like, no way. And his dad was just like, yeah. I was like, what? And yeah, the rest is kind of from there.
Yeah, and then I guess like you guys, like what do you guys exactly have? I mean, are you just like frequently collaborators? You guys have like a collective?
Yeah, NCE is the collective.
NCE?
Yeah, No
Okay.
Choice Entertainment.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, I guess that's like kind of like that's kind of like the story up until now almost.
Yeah, because after I moved in, I should probably go alongside more of my music discography. I think while I was in Japan, that's when I dropped my first project, like my first actual like
Okay.
little EP thing,
Yeah.
like 7 songs. That's when I first like dropped that when I was in Japan.
When you were in Japan, just now over at the for the Erase tour.
Yeah,
Okay, how long ago was the Erase tour?
like 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's when I dropped my first music. Was 2 years ago, like my full 7-song thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right.
But you already had built like a fan base over like the YouTube stuff.
Exactly. And people just liked me because they thought I was funny and cool.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, all right, I hope they take this well.
Well, that's like I feel like you have like a special journey and like a special introduction even to like the music thing, because you're already like a thing kind of on YouTube,
Hmm.
and then you like start dropping music, which is crazy, but it's also like your foundation, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's an interesting foundation, I guess. What I'm trying to say.
Yeah, like you shouldn't build your foundation upon don't build your foundation with a house of cards, you feel me? Like if you're known for something really and you try to transition, expect for people not to be fucking with it. That's what I went in expecting. Like I expected the worst because I was like, I am a skateboarder primarily. Not a lot of people react well when they hear skateboarders do music, and I didn't think that my music was very special, except for like the love songs. When that all came out, that's when I thought it was like something meaningful to me. That's why I did it. But people took it better than I expected. Like I really don't know what to say at this point. I was just like, I guess people like me. So I was like, it was shocking to even admit. Like I figured like they liked me because I seen the comments, I seen the love, I've signed autographs, I've done a bunch of crazy skate shit, but I didn't think people liked me as a person. I thought they just liked me as like, fuck, this nigga's gnarly.
Yeah.
And that I am damn confident in that. Like if there's anything that I'm not insecure about, it's my ability to skateboard. Like I'm damn good at that shit. But like when everything else happened, I was like, holy shit, people like me. This is sick. And I just kept being myself.
Okay, and then obviously, I mean, up until this point, I mean, Swaco just gets signed, and then like life kind of changes for everybody,
Yeah.
in your group or collective or whatever. I kind of want to just like talk more about like other stuff, like how do you deal with depression?
How do I deal with depression?
Yeah.
A bunch of different ways. I think one of the ways is like I like to talk to people, but like I don't really talk to people. Or maybe the other way around. I don't talk to people, but I like to try to talk to people. So like my friends, like my close friends, like the ones I live with, my brothers and my family, like if I can talk to Ryan, for example, Ryan Labrada, he's like the stylist, creative director in the house, like room right next to mine. If I talk to him about something, like, and usually when I feel bad, everybody else is also catching like the same wave, like, because I feel like I've grown enough as a person to know how to deflect my depression, or like I understand my depression. Mm-hmm. I understand where it comes from. I gather the source and I try to figure out why do I feel this way. And then I talk to my friends as well. Like if I ever need any type of guidance that I cannot find within myself, I will talk to my friends. And it's sometimes hard. Like sometimes it's weird going because I have a big house now. So if I go all the way up to Swaco's room and I'm like, it's a long walk, like to go knock on this nigga's door. What if he's busy? Like, like it's created a slight weirdness. Like now I have to knock on doors to talk to niggas, like, or just, but it's easy to find that bond with people and they help me through my shit. But I also know how to gather my brain now. Like I will sit, I will meditate, I will write every day Like, because when he taught me how to write, like in that journal I told you about, like that shit wasn't a habit. So it was like, I don't get what the fuck this does, nigga. Like, I'm still living in this fucking apartment, but he says it helps, and I believe him, and he's a smart guy, so I start writing, but I didn't do it consistently. Now it's like consistent. Like when I get in a bad situation, it only makes me work harder. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna wake up early. I'm gonna write as I'm supposed to. I'm gonna meditate as I'm supposed to, and fucking understand why I feel this way and try to understand myself. And most of the time, as of lately, I find the answer, and then I keep it moving. And anybody else who's feeling that way, like my people, like my fans, I like to relay that to them. Like, that's why all my songs sound the way they do. It's not specifically for them. It's for me, but I know people go through the same shit and relate to me through these situations. So it's for the both of us. So when I say some like, if I say like some introspective shit on Instagram, I'm mostly saying it because this is something I was going through, and I want people to know, like, hey, this is how you deal with this.
Yeah. Do you still get depressed, like you used to, or is it?
Yeah, but it won't last as long because I know how to deal with it within the allotted time.
Yeah.
Like if I'm depressed, like on a day, it will be like bad. Like it could be the whole half of the day that'll be horrible. And then I'll realize who the fuck I am and find my confidence in myself. And then I'm like, I'm not going out like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all I can do.
No, for sure.
That's the answer. All you can do is all you can do. Literally, I'll just give everything my all, because most of my shit stems from like not thinking that you're good enough for some fucking reason, or it stems from like, it doesn't, like it used to stem from like kid shit, like being ugly or fucking like not dressing right or some stupid shit. But as I got older, it's like, it just became success. Like if you don't succeed, you're gonna die, nigga. Like, and so it became, yo, all you can do is all you can do.
Yeah.
What is real will prosper. A part of the same shit. Just keep going.
You know what's funny that I would say that I was thinking about while we've been talking is like the stuff that I like from you isn't even the screamy stuff, and like, and
Same.
that's
Same here.
and that was, I mean, that's the same thing with X though, is like the stuff that I really liked from him was stuff like Snow, stuff like, I mean, I guess King is like a screamy song, but like,
I love that song.
but like Let's Pretend We're Numb is probably like my favorite song.
Yeah.
And that's not really him screaming at all, or he's not screaming at all.
Yeah. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I spoke to the devil once in Miami, and he said that everything would be fine.
Yeah.
And a ton of other ones, but specifically like
Yeah.
what came to my head were those, and I was just like, man, like those are or Alone Part 3. I'm done listing songs, but definitely.
No, but it's crazy to me too, because there was something like when we first met, there was something like intrinsic about you that I couldn't like really put my finger on, but you just like felt special, and maybe it was that, maybe it's that we're just both big fans of X, and like maybe we just there's just an energy there that carries on, you know.
Dude, he has a way of connecting people. He
absolutely,
surely does.
and you know, energy doesn't like go away. You
Never
know,
dies.
It just goes other places. So like even just thinking like about that, and like when I first met you, it was just something about you, and I told you. I mean, obviously I was wasted, but like it felt like it was just something there. So it's just dope to hear that too.
Well, I'm here, man, and what's supposed to happen. Firm believer of what's supposed to happen in life is just gonna happen, and it's just gonna keep going. So that one night that you were wasted and said like a few words to me, I'm here doing an interview. I don't know where this is gonna lead me. It could lead me in a super high direction. It could take me nowhere, or it could just be a good conversation between future friends.
Yeah.
I don't know where the fuck it's gonna lead me, but I'm glad it's happening.
Absolutely,
It's on my path.
Absolutely, yeah. Life is crazy that way. Do you believe in destiny?
Yes. Do I believe in destiny? I think I can say yes. Yes.
I think so too. Because like, I don't know. I don't think things just happen randomly. Like I think it's like there is a path.
Yeah, it all falls into place. You know what's funny? Yeah, I do believe in destiny because we were at Luis's wedding.
Wow.
I'll tell you more about that later. Beautiful. Niggas was crying. But we were at his wedding and everybody was looking at each other like, huh? Like, how did we all get here connected through, like, this one person? Because, like, I'm here with Swaco, of whom we all reflected on it, of whom I've met through, like, a college party, short, buzz cut, blonde hair, tall, shit brick house of a white guy. And, like, now he's a famous rapper with blue hair, and Luis is really, really big on YouTube. And, like, because when I met Luis, he had, like, what, 20K subscribers or something? Like, still trying to do stuff with the Barracks. Now he's on his own tip, getting, like, 100,000 views in a day on certain videos, just being him and spreading positivity. Should have silenced that shit.
No, you're good.
And now things, like, we're all together somehow. We all linked up and met each other. And every specific person there, from Ryan being there, from fucking just Emma, from fucking all the people that came with me that day, like, and how we all linked and built off of that. Like Edwin, for example, like Edwin is the creative director for one of the creative directors for Erased, and he handles a lot of the management side.
Mm-hmm.
And he met Luis through a fucking text message before the Erased tour, and he was like, yo, I can help you do this shit. And he brought the company, he brought the brand from what it was to what it is now, and they're doing it. Like, they have articles and Hypebeast, like, they're fucking doing it. Edwin randomly hopped on, and he helped me with my rap shit. Like, he gave me advice in Japan. He gave me hope when I was so anxious and all this other shit. Like, everybody linked up for a reason. There's a reason that everybody in that specific moment was there. And I can obviously see that with the way that things have gone and the way that they're going. From the shit we used to talk about as kids that we wanted to do, because me and Luis, we're anime boys. Like, we're big romantic. So we're like, man, if I can just, like, find that one girl. Like, if you've ever seen an anime, like, see all the bright bubbles and shit, and it's, like, beautiful and it's, like, pure, like, that's what I've always wanted. And that's what he's always wanted. So, like, we would just geek over it and, like, just talk about it, like, rolling around like schoolgirls holding pillows and shit. Like, oh, my God. And, like, if I can get a girlfriend or a wife, like, I want to raise my kid to do this. And that'd be cool. Because, we were, like, geeking around like teenagers. And now he got married.
That's insane.
That was the dream. And let alone to, like, the culture that we're so infatuated with, like, Japanese. He's married to a Japanese woman.
That's
and
insane.
They're happy. Like, parent happy, like, happy fucking mom and dad looking, like, TV show shit.
Yeah.
It's not what niggas thought was possible. Like, most time, like, even our friends, like, if we talked about it, it's like, these niggas are geeks. Like,
Yeah.
Like, man, these bitches are scrapes. Like,
how's your experience been with dating in LA?
I don't really date. Like, honestly, since that Japanese girl that I was with at the time.
How long ago was that?
That was like, I was 21, so damn near 3 years ago.
I feel you. I have an ex that I'm still, like, hung up over, and it's been like 6 years.
Hey, make no mistake though, I'm not hung over my ex. Like, literally, as soon as I put out, like, Deeper Within, that song, because that was my answer, like, for any angst that I had regarding her, that was the let go. Because I also have a song called Love Unconditionally. I love her unconditionally. Like, so it was more about, like, she really doesn't know what she's doing, and she's trying to figure her shit out. I came to full ass acceptance with that and said, I can't be involved with you because you're a destructive person. So I just blocked her on everything. Like, that was it. I have no, like, I don't dream about her. I don't still see her shadows in my room. Like
That's
none
funny.
of that.
That's funny. I'm still completely, absolutely hung up on my ex-girlfriend. And it's kind of sad because it's been like 5 or 6 years. Like,
That shit could be terrifying.
but you know what it is? I was totally over it, and then I, like, linked up with her again the last time. Maybe like the few last times I was, like,
that happens.
back in Florida, and then it just, like, re-sparked everything. And
Yeah.
it's fucked up because I had a dream about her last night.
Ah, man, those fucking suck.
Yeah.
Like, when that would happen to me, it was torture, dude.
But it's crazy because I haven't dated a girl since. Like, I'm trying to, but dating in LA is so hard. That's why I'm asking you your experience.
With me, it's like, after that, I dated a sugar mama, dude, like, straight from Japan. Like, she barely speak English, but I speak Japanese. Broken Japanese. My Japanese is kind of ass. Her English is kind of ass. It was perfect. It worked out for me. So I dated her for a bit. Still great friends, very close friends. Like, it never became anything like, you are my girlfriend. It was more like, I'm going to be with you to comfort you. You're going to be with me to comfort me. And I want you to be happy.
Yeah.
Just as you want me to be happy. So help each other, but also sleep with each other and all that good shit. And when things got too close, of course, they broke because there wasn't a mutual giving of energy. Like, if you put out a certain amount of feedback to a person and they're not returning it, me being the one in the case not returning it in this one, it ain't gonna work. And I knew that. I'm not about to put her through, like, some type of fucked up heartbreak because I'm not my ex.
So how do you meet girls?
Damn, how do I meet girls? Like, literally, they just be coming around. Honestly, I know girls from Inglewood.
Yeah.
I know girls that just come around, but I also just don't really have bitches like that. Like, I've had girls that I frequently had sex with, but wasn't really good for me. So, like, my team's really smart. So we just know what to cut off at what points. And, like, for the most part, you'll get shamed. Like, I'll get shamed if I bring, like, anybody to the house. So I don't even be meeting girls. Like, because it's easy to see. I can see through these hoes. So I'm just like, oh, cool, smooth. I ain't gonna see you after this event. Cool.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it is. So I'm not really looking for anything, I guess. But
You're just focused on like the career and stuff.
But the girls that came by, like,
do you want a girlfriend?
Not really. Like, it's funny because I want the wife and kids and shit to this day. I've been dreaming of that since I was like 14. Literally, look up an interview of me when I was 14. I literally said I want 2 kids in a big ass house. Still on my vision board. Like, check the one at my crib. I still have the house in the fucking backyard that I envisioned barbecuing in. But, like a girlfriend right now, like I'm not doing the best that I could be doing to support somebody. So like, why am I even? I'm not trying to look for that. I don't feel lonely at all either. I feel busy all the time anyways. If it comes by, it comes by. But I am definitely not looking, especially in LA. I'm not like searching girls to love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a fair share of experience, and not too bad. Most of the time, I just learn from my friends' experiences and a few of my own. And yeah, after that, I'm not searching. It's whatever. It will come though.
I got you.
Not right now.
I get you. I feel like sometimes maybe I just have my priorities fucked up. Cause like I'm not really in the position for it, but like, I don't know. I get lonely, bro. I get super lonely.
I feel you. Shit, it's the same here. Like, especially when my friends, I brought up Ryan like 50 times during this interview. Ryan, he got a girlfriend who seems great for him. I'm glad that she was a part of the festivities. My friend just got married. I caught the flower bouquet, by the way. So, you know.
So you're next.
Yeah, I feel like I'm next up on that. You'll see me. But yeah, literally, it feels weird because everybody else is like in love.
Yeah.
And it looks great, but I don't see anybody in my immediate circle or immediate women that I know that I want to be like that with. So it's whatever. You get kind of lonely, but then you just don't. But it happens. Everybody gets lonely. Everybody wants somebody.
Yeah. It's hard. I just feel like also in LA, it's like there's so many people here. And I'm not from here. I'm a transplant, but it's like.
I'm a transplant.
It's crazy. It's crazy that like in a city filled with like so many people, like it just still feels like the most lonely. At least that's how I feel about it. Like.
Yeah. I think LA feels lonelier than a lot of places because I didn't travel until like a month ago because Swaco blew up and he's been taking me on these radio tours to help out with things. And I went to New York. I went to Maine. I went to Rhode Island, other little places. Like I went to Boston, and those aren't like pop. Like there's this one place called Albany. It's like the capital of New York, right?
Yeah.
It's not popular whatsoever. I was pronouncing it wrong as soon as I got there. I was like, Albany? I don't know what the fuck this is. Like,
yeah.
And yet the people were like so sweet and so nice. Like, and there's few people, but they're very nice.
What do you think it is? You think like LA, the people and like the
dude, the people are fucking dead.
The vapidness about it, like
everybody's trying to be in their own ass, trying to smell their own farts, like that one episode of South Park. That's literally what it is.
And that's what you think makes it so lonely is everybody's got their own head up their own ass.
Yes, and they're all focused on themselves. And for the most part, like when my friends are focused on themselves, I understand and I know that I have a place in their life. But it's also like fuck, like for example, like what happened recently? Like they have to go to parties, they have to go to events. They're going on a radio tour in like to Texas. I can't really go to that, so I'm gonna be at home like alone in this big ass house, and it's just like
I mean, at least you're in a big ass house.
Yeah, now I'm in a big house. Like it's like now everything just feels empty and dark.
I mean, how does it feel though to like live in like a big ass house with all your friends? Like,
it's dope. Sometimes it could be stressful, but it's cool. Like,
is that something that you dreamed of? Like, because I feel like also like a lot of people, like a lot of kids, there's a lot of kids trying to make music, and essentially that's their dream, to live in a big house with their homies. You know what I'm saying?
It's just that my dream was always living in a big house with a family that I'm able to take care of. That's literally been the dream. So like now I live in a big house with my friends, but it's like we all know that we can do better. We all still have things that we can't take care of. Like I'm living good, but remember what I talked about earlier, like with my mom, like they're not living good. I can give them money now, like every now and again, but they still look fucked up whenever I go, and it looks like a cramped space. There's 8 people living on my grandma's house. Like, that's not right. Like now, if anything, I just feel more determined to make it happen for my people rather than just me. And like, I still don't feel like it's happening for me. I'm just living here. I feel like my days could be numbered. My days could be numbered from here. Like, I don't know how long I'm gonna be living there. I don't know what's gonna happen next. Like, I'm still in survival mode, and I'm scared. And that's where everything stems from. That's where the loneliness stems from. That's where the anxiety, that's where the depression stems from. I'm scared. But then every day I convince myself that I'm not built that way and I'm meant to be something great. And so I go out and I chase that shit, and that's what keeps me from being afraid. But that shit is fucking scary. It's scary as hell.
No, I feel what you're saying. Absolutely. Have labels reached out and stuff to you, or they're just not talking about enough yet?
I think 2 or 3. Like the first one that reached out, I forgot what she was an A&R for. But then the second 2, like UMG.
I mean, you're taking meetings and stuff.
Yeah, I've taken 2 meetings.
But they're just not
Universal.
They're just not talking about enough, or
they're not really talking about anything. Like they're just like, we like your shit. We love what you're doing. Need help doing anything? Not really. All right, fuck it.
Would you sign, or you're just like, it's like right now it's not worth it?
Depends on the deal. Like right now I don't have enough leverage for that, and honestly, like we're about to be doing so many things ourselves. Like we already do damn near everything in house, so it's like I don't need a label per se. But if anybody makes me an offer that I can foresee to help me and to be of like actual use and not just try to fuck me, then yes, that'd be great. And to even be made an offer is like would be sick. Like to be actually made a money offer, because it's not good to like determine your worth by like money or whatever. But god damn it, it'd be nice if somebody liked my shit enough to pay me. I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah,
would not be upset at it.
I feel that. So how about let's go here. If somebody's never heard your music, what's maybe the first song they should listen to?
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable?
Yeah.
That's the best one.
That's the best introduction to me, I think. And
Okay.
secondly would be Soul Food. Like, so
you just recently dropped Soul Food, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite song.
That's the favorite you've ever done.
Yeah. That's definitely my favorite song.
I'm curious, what's your recording process? Like how much is written down, how much is freestyled, or is it all written down?
Oh, well, this depends because, like, for example, like some of the yelling stuff, like I can freestyle that, but not like fully freestyle. So I'll like punch in every here and again, and maybe sometimes half right. But it depends on like how the beat hits me as well. Like Scarlet, that's my most recent one where I'm like yelling like crazy. I was just really pissed. I heard a beat. I wrote that shit in like 30 minutes. I was angry.
What's that one song too that you have that it's like it sounds like a Detroit beat or like a West Coast beat?
Oh, Doty.
That shit is fucking fire.
Yeah.
It's dope too how versatile you are. And I feel like that's where a lot of rappers like misstep is like they kind of get stuck.
Pigeonholed.
Yeah, they kind of get stuck in one thing, but you're kind of doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah, my struggle is just like, I don't know how I'm going to be exactly marketable besides just being myself and hoping that people love me, because that's what it takes to be an original dude though, right? Like if you want to be the biggest version of you, you have to be you. Like, so I don't want to be caught up at a mid-rapper level where I'm like, yeah, I can afford a house, I got ice on, but like, this is you. This is just you. You don't go out of this pocket. Like, I want to be able to do it all, but it's also confusing. Like, niggas like, what do I listen to, and what does this guy sound like? It's hard to tell. Like, and then everybody's assuming that you're stealing somebody else's shit. But honestly, whenever I hear
something... Do you really run into that X thing a lot?
Not really. But like, so here's my thing. And what I was afraid of, not what I was afraid of, but what I was initially afraid of was getting like comments like my friend had gotten, like Lamont had gotten, like, stick to skating, nigga. This shit is bad. You fucking sound stupid. You know, whatever. That never happened. But the one thing that they can get me on is saying that. That's the only bad comment that I get. Like, and it's not often. It's not like, I hear that maybe like once a month from somebody.
Oh shit, I have a lot of fucking X fans that subscribe to my channel. So. I hope you don't get an influx of it from me.
I mean, I don't think that, because if they hear all my other music, like when I made Scarlet, like I said, I was just pissed off. How do I express that? I yell. I'm from the punk rock scene. Like, I don't know what else to fucking do. I just get pissed. And when it's over a rap beat, I guess it sounds like X, nigga. Like, there's not much else I could do about that.
I mean, I also feel like there is like a tribe, you know? Like, maybe you and X are just from the same tribe of like energy.
Could be, dude.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like, and he brings people together. And for as much as I know, your fans could be brought into me if they like the shit where I put my heart into, like, and not just like my angry heart, which is a part of my heart. I fully accept now, but the other part of me, the softer side.
Are you still angry? Like, do you still hold maybe resentment towards your mom?
Not towards my mom, but I do struggle with expression with her, like sometimes.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Yeah, but it's not it's not like really anger towards her, but like sometimes you start questioning things. Like when you get lonely, that's when all the angst builds up. You start questioning shit. So like when you start questioning your friendships and the people that really rock with you, or what reasons people rock with you, and start feeling like, damn, you can end up all alone again. Like you can end up down and broken. That's where like the rage comes from. My sadness turns to rage really fucking fast. And that's kind of where some of it comes from, but not a lot. That's why most of my music has been singing recently, because like,
you don't feel that way anymore as much.
Because money did change a lot of it. Money did change a lot of it. Like
I feel like a lot of people say money can't buy happiness, but like shit, it could buy
a
bunch of shit that could make you happy.
It could help a fucking whole lot. Like, and I know not to try to fill a void with any type of like shit. Like, cause I don't really need much shit. I'm from the punk rock scene. We just rock with fucking anything. But like, it definitely helped me a ton with knowing like my worth and my value. So I'm like, I don't have much to be pissed off or insecure about. Like, I know what I can do. Like, I've seen it happen before in my eyes, what I can do. And ain't no problem with me believing in myself. And since that happened, like, the music's become more, I guess you could say, singy.
Or just like happy.
Yeah, I'm
just
like
happy.
a
Better vibe.
Yeah.
Are you still full-time skating, full-time making music?
I'm full-time making music, not full-time skating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like literally after Japan, Luis was like, yo, dude, like, you need to really do this music thing. Like, really do it. There's so much more for you than just being a skateboarder. Like, and I know a lot of pro skaters. I know how much they get paid. Like, he was like, there's more for you than that. Like, you're something special. He is like my main proprietor of pushing me, from him eating 35-cent burritos to traveling anywhere he wants, whenever, and filming it for his job. And that's what he does with a successful company, a beautiful wife, and a loving family. He's living my dream pretty much. And I'm just like, you're right. Like, whatever you say is good for me because I believe in you and you believe in me, I'll do it. Like, I believe in myself. Like, he was an addition to me believing in myself. So I said, fuck it. And I just started going in on music and like actually focusing. And like, I don't ride for Erased. Like, I'm a part of the family, but I don't ride for them anymore. I don't have to make a video part. I don't have to do none of that, but I'll skate for fun. But I'm not going back into like trying to kill myself for a check. And that's the only thing that's different.
That's dope, man. That's sick. It's amazing, and it's interesting hearing your story. And I've heard I watched some of the documentary that you guys made.
The one with Sueco?
Yeah. So I watched some of that. So I've heard some of this, and you just have an interesting story. And it's crazy to me too, because like I'm really, you know what it is, like I'm almost like not surprised about anything you're telling me, because like when I met you or when I just saw you, just there was something special about you.
Thank you.
So I don't know. I don't really even know what I'm trying to say, but it's just crazy, and I think you're gonna do great, and your music's fucking sick, and you're already doing good, but it's like it's only up from here.
I appreciate that. I really do.
Which is super dope. I'm trying to think. You got any advice for your fans? Like for somebody in a situation like you growing up, like what advice do you have to that person?
Keep going. If it's something that you really want, then it's worth it. The most cliche one, you do only live one life, but do you want to spend that shit regretting what could have been? That shit hurts. I already have enough regrets, and I don't want any more, and I don't want my people to have more. You got to live life feeling shit. Like, that was the one thing, that was the first thing I didn't understand about, like, the whole numb wave, like, where everybody was just, like, not trying to feel anything and be broken. And I was like, dude, like, you want to feel shit. You want to experience this shit, because I turned 24 recently. Maybe that's why my perspective on this is a little different. Because, like, now I feel like, dude, you're older. Like, you don't have time to be laying around broken. Like, what have you done? Do you want to look back and, like, think, damn, what do I have to show for my life? Because, like, I see it in my brother sometimes, because he said some shit to me. Because we don't talk about feelings, but that nigga said some shit to me that was like, yo, like, I'm not, like, I'm proud of you, man. Like, I'm not really doing shit right now. And I was just like, fuck, like, is that how he looks back on life? I don't want him to feel that way. I don't want him to feel broken, like he can't do shit. That nigga almost got shot in the chest, like, the other day. And, like, he was telling me, like, I can't do shit. Like, this is on the way home from work. Like, the fuck is he supposed to do? And I was like, man, like, that's why my perspective now, every single day, try to live doing what you want to fucking do. Don't waste your time. Like, you don't want to end up in a broken place. You don't. So that's the most advice I can give.
Absolutely. Do you got projects or anything coming out? Can we be expecting something?
I'm about to drop a song. It was based off of my friend's wedding, like all the happy feelings that it made me feel. So I made a song called Wedding Song. And I'm just going to release that probably probably in like within the next 2 weeks. And then after that, some real groovy shit. Something real groovy that involves a cat meowing.
How much music do you have unreleased stored right now? A bunch or not much?
Not really a bunch. Not really a bunch. Probably like 4 or 5 songs that I have unreleased.
So you don't really just record. You kind of record music and then put it out.
Yeah, I record as I feel it, but like it took me a while to get back to this feeling phase. Like it's since things changed a lot of my focus, because I've been doing content direction and like filming and editing for Swaco and everybody, and like just trying to make sure the team can prosper so that we all can prosper. But now, like, he recently told me very specifically, like, meeting alone in his closet, no gay shit, I promise you. He was like, oh, like, I think, like, you should get back to focusing on you and, like, what makes you an artist, you know? And, like, I was making music when I had felt it, but my focus was specifically on, like, make sure everything goes well so that everybody can eat, so that we all can survive.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you guys are not only a collective, but you guys are all like working and playing different parts.
Yeah.
In the puzzle or in the machine that is Swaco the child.
Yes, literally, like it's like a contract thing that like they printed out, not like a contract though, but like we would have meetings every Sunday.
Yeah.
And like my obligation is like Jerhell, aka the Renaissance Man. We know you're good at a bunch of shit. Like do everything. Like, cause I assist in producing. I'll assist in writing the songs. I'll assist in filming, editing, content direction, creative direction. I was also a paid writer for some time. A lot of people don't know that, but I was writing for a few people. I'm a good writer.
Yeah.
So I was like, anything I can help with, I will help with. Like play my part. And that's kind of what it was for me, because I didn't have a very specific thing. Like Ryan, he is a stylist. That is what he fucks with. That's what he loves to do. He's also a creative director. That's what he fucks with. He does that for Erase as well. That's what he loves to do. Swaco, his job is to be an artist. His job is to help us all because he's in the highest position. Like, it's so many different things. Lucas, he's the manager of all of us. And so he takes care of us like we're his fucking kids. Like he gives me a lot of advice. He is an older man, so it's like he gives me like a figure that I never really had. Like, it was just weird. Like, it's weird. I feel like I'm saying some almost shit about him.
No, but I get it. That's actually something that we didn't really get to touch on. Like your father, he was like out of the picture for most of the time.
My father is awesome. He just was not around, and it's not his fault. Like, honestly, I think he was just driven away. Like, it was too much to deal with. He's a very simple person. Like, he drinks, but it's not like the craziest shit.
So I mean, you and your father have a relationship now.
Yeah, well, we've always had a relationship. I never want to downplay my dad. We've always had a relationship, but like when he left, I didn't really think of it as him leaving. I was just like, oh, where's dad? Like, I don't know. He's going to come around every weekend or something. Oh, fuck it. We go out to his house in Pomona. But that was kind of based off the fact that like my great grandma gave him that house, and she wanted it for him and his brother, him and my uncle. So he lived there, which makes sense. Like, why do you want to live in an apartment in Inglewood? But you can live in a house in Pomona, like. So I guess that's where it initially began. Maybe my mom was stuck, like wanted to stay in Inglewood. I don't know, because I don't ask enough questions because I don't know my family enough. But when I'd visit, it was dope. Like, nigga was kind of scary though, because like when I get hungry, he would yell at me, and I was like a little bitch, so I would cry, like, oh man, why is that? And then my brother, he was the hardened one. He was like, man, shut up, like go make a sandwich or something. I'm like, all right, like, but like. He did it out of love. He just doesn't express himself right either. And I figured that out early, like at family reunions where everybody's like laughing at him but with him because like he's so funny in his own little personal way. I was like, he doesn't mean to yell. He's just a yelling ass nigga. Like, he just yells. Like, that's just how he is. So there's never been any real bad blood between them. It was just maybe like a misunderstanding as a teenager. And besides that, there's never been any hostility. I've always loved him. I always tell him that I love him. The only disconnect came from my mom. And that's like, it felt like she was my number one enemy, you know? And yeah, dad was cool though. Dad was cool as hell. He did what he could.
How does your mom feel now that you're like a semi-poppin' rapper?
I don't know. Like,
Did she ever like not believe it?
She didn't believe in me for a long time during skateboarding. But like, this is a 12-year process. So it's like, halfway through when shit started showing through and I started winning competitions and shit, I won quite a few competitions. She was like, oh, that's my, like the immediate ghetto in her, like started showing off, like, that's my son, blah, blah, blah. Hostility to the highest now. Because now it's like, how dare you try to represent me when you didn't represent me most of my life? Fuck that. Like, and I was pissed. I would always be pissed. And I became like, that's when when my life started changing and then like there stayed still, I was like, fuck it, I'm a flourish. Like, you always threatened to kick me out on some shit because, like, I wouldn't do what you say or hold something above my head. Like, I'll take this away if you don't do what I say. Then I started getting my own shit, my own clothes, my own shoes, my own skateboards, my own everything. And, like, I started cooking my own food because, like, she would try to make me wash everybody's fucked up dishes after, like, long nights of whatever the fuck they were doing. And I didn't even, like, eat any of that shit. I ain't washing that shit. I'm going to make my own food. You wash your own dishes. Like, that's what it became. And that's when I realized I had power. That's what those Social Security checks were. I was like, yo, like, if you kick me out of here, I'm pretty sure those checks ain't going to be coming here either. So, like, yeah, go ahead and kick me out, whatever. I'll be on my own. I think I'll survive off of $600 a month or some shit. And I never got kicked out, so I don't know. But then that's, like, when the shift happened. Like, then I became happier, and they just stayed bitter and fucked up. And I was like, that's not good. Like, this isn't what I wanted. This isn't anything like what I wanted. And that's where a lot of regret can come from. And it's like, fuck, dude, like, this isn't, you don't want to see this shit. So, like, my mom has apologized to me, like, over and over again since I was, like, 21. Since, like, the whole house thing ended. Because she assumed I would go with her because I had nowhere to go. And then when I found somewhere to go, she was shocked. And then when I found success after I left, like, because the whole thing in her brain was like, he'll come crawling back. Like, that's kind of what it seemed like. And then I found some type of success and something to show for myself. And even before that, though, like, halfway through the skateboarding shit, she was like, I'm just proud of you, like, because you're doing shit. Your brother's not doing as much. Your family's not doing as much. Like, I'm proud of you. You're doing better than me. Like, you're making more than me. Like, and I wasn't, obviously, but, like, in her eyes, because I'm flying to Japan, because I don't talk to her. I didn't tell her what was going on in my life. I didn't like talking to her about anything. Regardless, I don't like talking to anybody about anything. So it was like, why would I talk to you of all people? And so, like, through obligation of living with her and being her son, it was like, what are you doing? How come you didn't come home tonight? Like, you have to explain. You have to, or else you're gonna get fucking beaten or something. Nigga,
Like,
you better
Mom,
explain.
I'm in Japan.
Yeah, I said, like, on the drop of a hat, I was like, I'm going to Japan. And I worked at Pizza Hut for a long time. Them niggas, they were cool. They let me just, I was like, hey, I'm going to Japan. They're like, fuck it, do you want to take a month off? I was like, yeah. And then I just disappeared.
How was Japan?
It was sick. Beautiful people, very friendly. Changed a lot of my perspective, a lot.
In
Like,
what ways?
it made me kinder, for one, like, and not so hood paranoid, like the type where you tap on somebody's back and don't have to, like, hit or swing immediately or, like, feel startled by everything.
That's a side question I wanted to ask. Somebody in an interview I did, like, maybe a few days ago or last week said growing up in the hood gave him, like, hood PTSD.
Yeah, that's a real thing. I didn't think it was a real thing until I realized. I was like, dude, I almost punched this little Japanese dude on a bike for nothing. Like, and he said sorry, and I feel bad. So I'm like, oh, great. Like, I'm the aggressor. I never thought this day would come. And so I'm like, okay, like, dude, chill out. And talking to people and, like, seeing what types of people there are in the world and how they think.
Is there different types of people in Japan?
Hell yeah, there's tons. These niggas are characters. Like, they're very quiet. They keep to themselves. They're very on top of their work, very on time, and they're discreet with a lot of their personal things until nighttime comes. Then that's when the freaks come out. Like, usually, like, in America, like, for example, this is why my ex respected black women, for example, because, like, if a nigga looks at them or says something, they're like, man, fuck you, nigga, like some shit like that. But, like, with, like, the Japanese people, they say something, they're like, oh, shit, head down, keep walking, like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't want any problems type. So that's why she respected us, because, like, how powerful and straightforward we were. In Japan, they're more, like, sidestepping everything. It's like, no problems. I want no smoke. I'm going to keep my head down. Like, they don't even say, excuse me. Like, they low-key just be bumping into each other and just keep it moving. Like, that's how they move. They're very peaceful, though. Like, and when you talk to them, they're nice and friendly. Like, when I first got there, oh, man, worst fucking time ever, dude. Like, my bag broke from the handle, and there's this wire poking out, cut my fucking hand, and then I was carrying extra bags full of, like, erase clothes, as everybody else was. I smelled horrible, did not put on deodorant before the flight. It was raining, my glasses were slipping off the front of my face, going down these big-ass flights of stairs, reading languages. I don't know how to read in Japanese. I could just say shit. So I was just like, I could say some broken shit at the time, too. Like, my Japanese wasn't even on point. So I was just like, shit. Like, I don't even know how to fucking say denki? Yeah, like, denki wa doko desu ka? Like, I would say some shit like that. Like, where to train? Like, I didn't say, like, station. I wasn't very specific back then. Like, I would just say, like, this thing, where at? And they would help me. And, like, or if I'm going down, like, flights of stairs, like women, like, who are, like, in their 40s, like, oh, like, chotto, like they would help me out, pick up my shit and like bring it down. I was like, well, you don't have to do this. You guys are too nice. Like, whereas in America, they're gonna walk by me and like just like, and, like shit like that. So I was like, the people are fucking beautiful. They're nice. They're awesome. It's just a little cold though. Like they will ignore the fuck out of you if they're scared of you. Like by the time I was speaking like pretty fluent Japanese, they were ignoring the dog shit out of me. Like if I was asking for directions or something. Like it's because I look scary. But if you catch them, like when they're not looking, you're just like, "Ano, sumimasen," and then and they hit them with the. They're like, oh, "Hi, nanika," and then you're just like, "Ah, I got you, bitch. You're gonna listen to me now." Like,
That's funny. I feel like your voice kind of changes when you speak Japanese.
yeah. 俺の声は本当に高いだね。俺の日本語少し難しい。まあ、そう、すみません。でも、まあまあ。
I don't know what you said.
I was saying something like, yeah, when I talk, my voice gets a little high,
Yeah.
and my Japanese is pretty bad, so, I'm sorry, and it's all right.
Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you wanted to touch on?
Subjects that I want to touch on. Whenever I'm put on the spot, it's hard for me to think.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, we're just talking at this point. I kind of feel like we kind of got the life story thing.
So long as people know where I'm coming from and where I intend on going. And as for where I intend on going, I want to be one of the greatest artists of this generation. And I want to lead people in the right direction. And I want to be something positive. But I also just want to be myself. And after that, I just want to go into like acting and television, really. Not like acting like in person, which I wouldn't mind. Would be kind of dope to be in a movie or some shit. I want to be in The Lion King. Fuck yeah. But like voice acting. Like cartoons. Like, because Steven Universe. Oh yeah, this is a good time. Shout out Steven Universe and Adventure Time. Shows like that. Like what look to be kids shows were really instilling like some great messages. And with Steven Universe specifically, it was like loving yourself, like, and how to get past these anxious feelings, and all expressed through some crazy rock monsters from outer space and like gigantic women and crazy shit like that. But like it was a kid's show, but it taught me a lot of things like that helped me get through a lot of shit. So if I can become a voice actor and be a part of projects like that, or like even in anime, like I want to voice act in Japanese and in English if my Japanese ever gets good enough. But like that's kind of like my
goal.
My ultimate goal is like to do stuff like that, but also be a very big influence in music.
Absolutely. So you got a song dropping in a couple weeks
called, I'm guessing, Wedding Song.
Wedding Song?
I just want to call it Wedding Song, maybe.
Okay. And do you have no project, nothing in the works as of right now?
No project in the work. The only project name that I have in my head is The Dog Days Are Over, because that's the name of my notebook that I keep.
The Dog Days or the Dark Days?
The Dog Days.
The Dog Days.
The Dog Days Are Over. I started that notebook in the apartment when I said I'd never be broke again. That's literally when I started it. Then I moved in with Swaco, and I continued to write in it every day. And then we hit the tipping point, and then the dog days really were over. And I was like, dude, if I can like somehow organize that into an album, like it's like more of my life story and like how it continued and how it's going to continue to be. I want to work on it as I grow as a person, and then I want to release something that's like that, like with all of my soul, all throughout the shit, with the most beautiful sounds that just hit the ear right. That's what I want to do. Like a classic project, like on some Kanye shit, like real.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of that anymore. Like albums just come and go now.
Yeah, I feel like it just has a lot to do with like originality, and people. I feel like people aren't trying as hard. Like maybe at least like right now, right this second where we are, people aren't trying.
It's at this moment, right? It's like after 6ix9ine disappeared, for example, like everything got like boring. Like everybody was kind of finding like little niches that they can like fit into.
And like the niches are cool, but it's just like sonically, it's just all become
like it's like all right.
It's as I feel like as hip hop moves more and more into like a pop space, everything is becoming more singular.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I think there is like a wave around the corner, you know, like
same. That's why I think our people are the wave. Like Swaco, the shit that he hasn't released is the wave. Like it's shit that we've all like he's worked on personally. I've helped to be a part of.
No, and I think a lot of the stuff too is like you can actually really, really rap, but like you can do it in a way where like kids can relate to it.
They can understand it.
You know, because there's a lot of people that do the spiritual, marital, lyrical, but like they can't make it make sense.
Yeah.
You know,
they just say words to say words.
Yeah. You know, like I feel like with a lot of your stuff and a lot of the people that I've been interviewing like these past few weeks, they choose the right words and they're keeping it fresh and they're keeping it interesting. You're not doing like the basic like I hit a lick, I hit you with the stick. You know what I mean?
Oh my
like,
God, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah,
but
I see the people who like most people who be living that shit. Like they're usually the ones to blow up. Like NLE Choppa. Like I'm pretty sure
he's dope though. He's dope.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he blows up because he lives that shit.
Yeah,
he lives that shit. Like Blueface, I'm sure he's lived that shit to an extent. But I think he's from like around Santa Clarita.
Yeah, but I like Blueface because he came with something fresh and like original.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, you could say it's like E40 or whatever, but it felt.
Nah, I'm not hearing that one.
I mean, there's people drawing comparisons.
Oh well,
as far as like the offbeat flow or whatever.
It's like a bass sound. Is kind of how it hits my ear.
Yeah.
Like Blueface was the one to come after 6ix9ine. You dig? Like so he was the one who like kind of kept the entertainment going for a minute. Like who kept the level of it. But then again, shit just kind of became a Tatiana remix like 4 times. And that shit is just like, oh man, like I need something
fresh.
more.
Yeah,
like
do
I
something
need
fresh, do something original.
Like I want to put out shit that I feel. Like I felt Tatiana when it came out because like I want to party and dance. Fuck yes. I don't want to do it with 3 other niggas verses on it though. Like I get it at that point. So I'm like, I need something new. And like when there's nothing there, I was like, dude, I think I can create it. And that's just what we doing.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess where can people find you at?
You could find me at Jerhellware, JerellWare. That's on Instagram. Or just type in Jerhell with the H in it, JerHell. Don't know why I chose an H. People always say Jerhell. I don't know. But you can find that on Instagram, Twitter at Jerhellware, same spelling and all. And YouTube, just type in my name.
All right, dude. I love the talk. I can't wait to talk again. Yeah, I wish you the best. Fucking thank you for coming. Thank you for coming on such short notice. Really appreciate you. This is the Mars Files. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Peace.